tell me about some of the biggest issues you faced when you became a single dad, and how did you overcome them, or how are you trying to overcome them?
Well, look, all of a sudden it's like, shit, this is really happening. My wife has taken care of most of these things, and I haven't really noticed that she's been doing them, and all of a sudden I'm responsible for them, like making her lunch and, ironing her clothes, getting her to bed on time, all those things that you weren't doing when you were a husband. You can't just expect your wife to be doing them, and she always did because she's the mum, and they're good at those things, and all of a sudden you have to do it. But I think that the number one sort of challenge for me was financially, just keeping both of us, fed and having a place to live. It's really hard. I mean, when the marriage ended, I didn't end up with much. When we were living in a tiny little studio apartment in Paddington, with a bunk bed over mine. I had a bed with a bunk bed over the top of mine, and it was pretty miserable for most of it. We had bed bugs for 3 months.
Oh, that's tough. Just add to it.
And, we'd take turns sort of getting up in the middle of the night with the torch, and oh God, it's the worst. And it went on for like 3 months, like no sleep.
Bloody hell.
Have you ever had bed bugs?
I think so. Yeah, I think once in New Zealand we went over there for work, and they were pretty sure they were bed bugs.
Yeah. So like my father bought this sort of set of second-hand bunks, put them over the top of my bed, and I think it had bed bugs or something in it, and suddenly we had this bed bug infestation in this tiny little apartment. It's the worst.
Oh, it's fucking atrocious.
They're hard to get rid of too, aren't they?
Unbelievable.
You got to burn your mattress pretty much.
Pretty much, and launder everything in your house, and they get under the frames.
Once they're in.
Floorboards.
You have to bomb the place.
Bomb the place. And actually getting the professionals. You can't do this.
A can of...
No, that's not going to work.
No.
Yeah, so... I mean, financially, that was that's the hardest thing. It's... just don't realise how much kids cost.
Yeah.
It's okay if you've got 2 incomes. Sydney's a really expensive city. I've just been in New York for a couple of months, and I couldn't believe how cheap it was compared to Sydney. I mean, we really pay so much for the privilege of living in the city.
Yeah, pay a fortune.
To rent, clothing, your kid wants Selena Gomez CDs and iPods and clothes and books and and you're also trying to get your own life together and go on dates, and just the cost of a date in the city is about $200.
Yeah.